Hey everyone, I'm Liz, and today I'm going to show you how I made one of these crochet spider webs. You could use any yarn and any hook size for this project, but I'll be using some crochet thread and a size E hook. You'll also need a pair of scissors, a bobby pin or stitch marker, and a needle to sew in your ends. You could make this web on its own and stretch it into shape or sew it down, or you could use craft wire to give your web more structure. First, I'm going to create a slip knot. And that's going to count as my first chain. So now I'm going to chain 5 more. Then I'm going to slip stitch to that first chain. And that's going to create a small circle. Now I'm going to chain 3, and that's going to count as the first stitch and chain of the row. So I'm going to mark that with my stitch marker. Now I'm going to half double crochet 1 and chain 2 7 to 9 more times into my circle. So yarn over and half double crochet, and then chain 2. Okay, I've done 7 more half double crochets and chains. Now I'm going to slip stitch around the chain that counted as the first stitch of the row. And I'm going to work around the chain rather than into it, because in this next row I'll be crocheting around the posts of each stitch. Now I'm going to chain 5. And once again, this will count as my first stitch and chains of the row, so I'm going to mark this with my stitch marker. Next, I'm going to double crochet around each of the posts and half double crochet stitches from the previous row. So yarn over and pull up a loop around that post. And then double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 3. And then double crochet around the next post. And chain 3. And I'm going to double crochet and chain 3 around the post of each stitch in this row except for the last one. And when I get to the last double crochet of this row, I'm not going to chain 3, I'm going to chain 5. Okay, I've done the last double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 5. And then I'm going to treble crochet around the first stitch of the last row. Now a treble crochet is kind of like a double crochet, except I'm going to yarn over twice. Then I'm going to pull up a loop around that stitch. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now I'm going to mark that as my first stitch. And then I'm going to chain 5. Okay, now I'm going to treble crochet around the post of each double crochet from the previous row. And once again, I'm going to chain 5 between each treble crochet, except for after the last treble crochet. Okay, I've done my last treble crochet of the row. Now I'm going to chain 7. And now I'm going to double treble crochet around the post of the first stitch of the last row. And a double treble crochet is just like a treble crochet, except I'm going to yarn over 3 times, and then pull through 2 4 times. Now I'm going to chain 7. And then double treble around the posts of the treble crochets from the previous row. And I'm going to chain 7 between each double treble crochet, except for after the last one, just like in the previous row. Now, if you want to make your web a little more unique and asymmetrical, you could try increasing or decreasing one of the posts. As you can see here, I've done 2 double treble crochets onto the same stitch, and I've chained 7 in between. And that is going to increase our post. And to decrease your posts, you could start your next double treble on the next post. But instead of finishing that stitch, I'm going to leave it open, and I'm going to yarn over 3 again, and then I'm going to start another double treble on the next post. And then I'm going to crochet those together to decrease. You don't have to do that, that's entirely optional, or you could do it on any of the rows. If you want, you could do it in one of the earlier rows. So you could do that in any of the rows to give your web a more natural look. Okay, I've done my last double treble crochet of the row. Now I'm going to do my last row. If you wanted to make an even bigger web, you could just continue the pattern of making your stitches one level longer by yarning over one extra time and adding 2 chains per row. But in the last row, I'm going to chain 4 and single crochet 2 at the top of each stitch to make these little peaks at the end of each line. So I'll show you how to do that in the next row. Next I'm going to chain 9. Then I'm going to triple treble crochet around the post of the first stitch of the last row. So to triple treble crochet, I'm going to yarn over 4 times and pull through 5 times. Next I'm going to make the peak. So chain 4. Then I'm going to single crochet 1 into the 4th chain from my hook. Then I'm going to single crochet 1 more into the stitch that I just made. Then I'm going to chain 9. And then triple treble crochet around the post of the next stitch. And once again, make the peak, chain 4. And then single crochet 1 into the 4th chain from the hook. And then single crochet 1 into this stitch. Now I'm going to triple treble crochet around the posts of each stitch from the previous row, and I'm going to create a peak into the tops of each triple treble crochet stitch And I'm going to chain 9 between each triple treble crochet, including after the last triple treble crochet of the row. Okay, I've done my last triple treble crochet and I've chained 9. So now I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the row and cut off my yarn. If you like, you could add a wire to your piece so that it holds its shape better. The easiest way to do this would be to simply cut off an extra long tail, then create a wire circle that's a little bigger than your web. To create my wire circle, I'm just going to unfold the length of my wire and measure it against my web while I'm stretching it out. And I'm going to cut off my wire. I'm going to make sure I have about an extra inch of wire on both sides. Then I'm going to twist those 2 extra inches together to form a ring. Now I'm going to use my extra long tail to sew the last row of the work around the wire. Now my spider webs are complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give this video a thumbs up or share it on social media. And if you want to see more tutorials in the future, subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time. Bye!